Introduction to Cloud Computing, Google Docs Basics. Now, there's no doubt that part of the reason people use cloud computing is because of the ability to share and work on documents, spreadsheets, presentations, and more in a one-stop, shareable environment. Now, there are a few such software as a service programs out there for cloud computing, but we're going to take a look today in this CBT Nugget on Google Docs and give you the basic rundown on how this will take your, quote, office and move it to the cloud. Our goal is pretty simple. Number one, we're going to get in and access the workspace, and based upon the nifty little trick that we did back in our Gmail and showed you how we change the URL to access it, very simple to do. Then we're going to share and modify some files. We'll start off with just the regular word processor and take a look at that document. We'll take a look at then how, if we've shared and modified the files, how we can review what has been done on those particular files and, make adjustments as necessary. Finally, we'll take a real quick brief look at available docs, spreadsheets, presentations, and some other things. So the first thing I'm going to do is go up and click here and type in now docs.mrcbtnuggets.com. Bada bing, bada boom. It's going to take me out there. It redirects and takes me to the now documents, my documents. Now check this out. This is really cool because now as a user, I know I'm the admin, but I'm coming in, it's going to show me what's happening in my Google Docs, which is where we really want to start getting into the end user and looking how that works. So I'm going to go ahead and notice it now. Some of this is new, at least when we're recording. You can upload anything. You don't have to convert them over to Google Docs. So you can open up docs, any kind, Word, OpenOffice, whatever they are, Office products, you can upload them, and then you don't even have to convert them anymore, and then access and share those files with anybody else. So I'm going to go ahead and close that. You can also remind people later. And you'll see that all of the documents that we're working on currently, all items, I can look at any that are owned by me, opened by me, shared with me, starred, hidden, trash, items by type, more searches. I mean, you have a lot of different functionality. Of course, even down here, we can create folders just like I would on my standard desktop PC or my laptop and place certain items. So if I had a whole bunch of documents, I can even look in through folders, and I can share those folders out. So if you click down here, you can see my folders and any folders that are shared with me. So you have all these type of things. Now to create anything new, you just simply come up over here and say create new. When I click on here, you'll notice I can do a document. That's just like your word processor. Presentation, kind of like your PowerPoint, your Keynote kind of presentations, which you can do very simple. A spreadsheet, you guys have seen those. Forms for a database type of environment, and even a folder. So if I want to, let's click on folder. It's going to say, all right, what do you want to call your new folder? And so if I come over here, right now I've got my folder, and I can place folders up underneath me and do all that. And then you can even right-click on the new folder. You can star it, share it. I can invite someone, move it somewhere, hide it. Maybe I want to make it hidden. Delete it, rename it, change the color. That's kind of fun. Change the owner, because right now it's owned by me. Mark it as unviewed, so if people place some folders, or I have some brand new documents or changes, it will show up and bold it. So hey, someone made a change to one of those documents I've looked on. I can even export all of this information out. So let's go ahead and rename it. I'm going to call this Cisco Nuggets. Click OK. So now it's staying like that. If I right click again, I can change the color. We'll go ahead and go with a kind of a light blue there. So now Cisco Nuggets is the nice light blue one. Notice right there. And if I just click off it, it'll keep its light blue saying. Now I've got all my items right here, and notice Jeremy sent me a working on the latest Cisco offerings. It's a document that we have, so I can select on here. I can do all kinds of fun stuff with this. You can even click and drag it into the Cisco Nuggets folder. So now it belongs to the Cisco Nuggets folder. Check that out. And so just like you saw if you went through our email end user training, all that functionality that you have is still included as a part of this. Now, if you notice I click anything owned by me, I haven't created anything. So let's go ahead and create a new document just to show you how that works. We'll create a new document. Once I've done that, of course, it will log in and open up a new window. Takes a second, comes in, loads all the tools. These are going to be tools that are very familiar to us as end users. So I can see all the stuff that I have here, all my latest and greatest, and as I type stuff, it'll go, say hello there, everyone. Here's my first document. And then, of course, you can, add, I've got all my same tools. I can change the font on this if I want. Change it to Arial, click and hold down, go to Comic Sans. That's kind of fun. Change the, again, you can highlight anything, click and hold, move down, maybe make it 14 point if I want. There's a lot of different things that are available to you. Change the color, change a lot of things here. Save now, which automatically will save it at that point. And right now it automatically, just kind of like how when you try to save a document in Word, notice how it usually takes the first few things that you say there. Here's my Explorer user prompt. What do I want to use? I say first document. Click OK. And now it's named first document. It's saved. And now here's where I have the opportunity. You'll notice that when I was looking at all my documents that I had over here on my Google Docs, one of the ones that I had, of course, was one that had been shared with me by Jeremy. So I'm going to go back over here to my first document. So if I wanted to, I could just go over here and click share, and then I can share that with Jeremy. Now, once you're done, all you merely need to do is click on the close, and then that will then take you back to your original admin nuggets. Now, if I wanted to, notice under my Cisco nuggets now, I've got Jeremy here, who has given me this particular document for me to look at. Now, if I want to look at it, you can double click on it, which will then open up again in a separate window what Jeremy sent me. And you'll notice that, bring it right here, and we've got the Cisco ASA 5500 series 4-port gigabit Ethernet security. Look at this. He put together some information. Jeremy's telling me, hey, I'm working on the latest Cisco offerings. Maybe you can make some changes. Check it out. Of course, I would say, boy, Jeremy, you're the man who knows all this about Cisco, so it looks good to me. You could get the photos and insert, and I mean, you can now start making some edits. Maybe you say, well, that looks good, but maybe I want to add just something a little bit more. And here's some more about Cisco. I'm just going to type this just to kind of demonstrate now. Now, remember, it was updated by Jeremy. Now I click on saving. So now that it's saved, look, it's now been adjusted to be used by me, Chris Ward. So I made these changes to this particular docs. And of course, when you make those changes, these are made possible because Jeremy has allowed me to make changes. Not only can I read it, but I can make changes to it as well. Now, if I wanted to, I could go ahead and try to click share, and I can say, hey, I want to invite people to help out on this. So now I'm going to click on invite people. I'm going to type in James, because I'm sure James would like to be able to help out with that. And you can choose whether to allow them to edit or just to view this particular thing. See, if you click to view, now James can look at it, but he's not going to be able to make any changes to the particular document. So I'm going to go ahead and send that off to James. It's going to send it, and you'll notice that I can edit. Jeremy is the owner. He makes the ultimate, and you can make it. If you can edit it, you can then come over here and make changes to this. So I can edit. I could then come over here and say he can make he can go in and do that. Now, just remember, the permissions that are set here for docs are a little they're pretty much, you can either edit and do almost full control, or you can view, or maybe even not even see anything with that. Now, this is neat. Notice you can now email the people that are on this particular document. Maybe you want to say, hey, has anyone checked it out? Can someone please check my stuff? You can send an email. You can even create an event with these people. So, hey, we're going to have a meeting to go over this document. Make sure you print it, and that'll be added to their calendars. into Google Calendar. So cool stuff that you can do when you share and do those. So go ahead and save and close. Now here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and sign out as the admin at Mr. CBT Nuggets, which is going to sign me out, and finish off by showing you what happens now if I go over to James over at CBT Nuggets. And let's see if I remember James's password that I gave him. Yes, I did. Woohoo! And look at this. Notice now that we're now logged into James at MrCBTNuggets.com. We'll go ahead and close the upload. Show that in just a second. Now, if I click on the working on the Cisco offerings here, it takes a second and comes in. Now watch this. I'm going to come down here. Notice something missing here. Where are my tools? I can't do anything. Yep, that's right. I cannot edit this. Now I can, of course, view. I can open it as a separate document. I can make a copy. I can download it and in OpenOffice as Word, text, RTF, and PDF and make certain changes if I need to. I can print preview it, print as a web page. So I have some options. I can change my viewing and even see how to use my Google Docs better by learning from other Google users. And those are allowed, but I can't make edits in our Docs site because James is view only. James is view only. Now I'm going to sign out James, but show you the difference now when I go over to Jeremy here. So now I go over to Jeremy and log in as Jeremy, and you're going to notice that Jeremy now is going to, we'll go ahead and close that. You'll see that working on the latest Cisco offering, me, and notice the admin was the last person that admin Nugget over here was the person that did the last edits. It's changed. So if I click on it now, bring it down, it says here's some more about Cisco. So now I can come up here to File and I can see the revision history. When I click on it, it's going to say that I went in and there was the one came in, Jeremy, that's him, me, working on the latest Cisco offerings, the change that he made, all revisions 2 through 4. But then look, 4 minutes ago I came in and did some stuff. And you can compare them. You can compare these, say compare the checked, and now it's going to show you what I did, that I took this out instead and I added this information. And you can go back to the revision. So this is number 4 through number 6. And you can see all of the cool things, the authors who's worked on it. Go back to the revision history. So, those are kind of fun. So if you click a couple things here, only 2. I almost forgot. So let's go back here to revision 4 and revision 2 and compare the check between it was what he typed, which was there, and then of course there. Notice anything that was green would have been the stuff that Chris Ward, me, did, instead of the blue that's me, which was done by Jeremy, because Jeremy, well, of course that was me too, but Jeremy had done. So you can see who had made changes. You can compare the checked. Again, now you can see that I was the one that did that because it's the color for Chris Ward, not for him. So you can go back and check your revision, then go back to editing and make whatever changes you need to do. So those are some really nifty features that you can do. You can still download, you can still make new documents, you can still save and close and do all those kind of fun things that you want. And so any changes that are made, it's now all in one location. You can see the revisions and you're not sending out multiple copies. Everyone just comes to one place. Documents, or in this case docs.mrcbtnuggets.com, and whoever they are. And you remember we saw that James only had view privileges, so he couldn't make changes to it. I have the ability to change it. You can come over here and you can look at see who has access to it, and you'll notice that Jeremy Char, that's who's currently is the owner. And then I can even, if as the owner, I can go say, you know what, Chris Ward can only view it now. And so when I come in as admin Nugget, it can then be changed. So these are just some really nifty things that we can do. And again, the functionality that we have here is real simple. If you want to create other files, you can create new presentations. Show you exactly how that works. It'll open up a separate window here. And it's going to say, let's now make a new presentation. And for all of you who have ever used PowerPoint or any of the other presentation software, very similar things that you can do. You can come in here and you can click and add the title. You have your same changes and editing tools that you have. You can still insert text, video, drawings, tables, shapes. You can do just about anything you want. You can import slides from another presentation. Pretty cool stuff. And the other thing that you might want to do, and we'll go ahead and sign out Jeremy here. Sign me back into the documents here. So admin nugget. Put in my password, which is, and to remember my password and come back in, I want to show you one other thing, and that's how you can upload a document that's already on your computer. We simply come over here to upload, click on upload. It's going to go out and say you've got how much space you've got to store your folders. You can also say, do you want to convert the documents to the Google Docs format or keep them the same? If you just want to make this kind of a storage place for some of your Office docs and other things, hey, you can do that. The nice thing is that the Google Docs will actually compress it, and they've got some other things. So we're going to go ahead and start the upload. Select the files to be uploaded. And that simply brings you out to your desktop here, and I can go to the trainer here, go to documents. We'll pick up, let's do the Science Fair table of contents that my son did. We click open, and you can even select more files if you want. You can select which folder they go into. I could make them and put them into the Cisco Nuggets. I can put them just into a no folder, any folders that are shared with me, things like that. You have that ability. We'll just put it on there. Click Start Upload. It goes through and does its job. It's now uploaded. You can then, of course, upload more files or just merely go back to Google Docs. Once we do that, we'll see that we have on this folder Cisco, but if I click on All Items, check this out. There it is, my Science Fair table of contents working on the latest Cisco offering. So all there, ready for me to start editing at any moment's notice. We started off this CBT Nugget by taking a look at how we access our workspace there with Google Docs and all the available tools and capabilities that we have with that. Then we dived in and created some files and saw how we can share those files out, how we even modify files. We can set up permissions on those files and say some people can edit them, some people can only look at them, whatever you decide to do. It's kind of neat. Then we saw that if you are able to modify them, let's check out the revision history. Who made what change to that particular document? Even took a look at how it color codes it so you know who did what in that particular document. Then finally we take a real quick look at some of the other available doc options. You can make spreadsheets. We took a look at presentations, all available to you and your end users when you set up your Google Docs. I hope you enjoyed the training today, and I'd like to thank you for joining us.